Hello, everybody. I am SunPsychic Jean, and do we have a show for you tonight? How much fun is it going to be? Please welcome my very special co-host, Daphne from Relax with Daphne, and Stacey from Stacey Sacred Key Codes. Hi, Stacey.
Hi everyone.
I'm going to switch the position here just because I popped in and out. We were moving everybody around. And if you notice, we changed the name of the show at the last minute here. And we will be doing crystal ball readings for everybody tonight. How much fun is that? Does everybody like crystal ball readings? And the crystal ball readings will be chosen in random order. Let me do. Let me see if I can. And you can just ask for your crystal ball reading, and it will be just that. I'm trying to see where it says. Here it is. Okay. Please post your questions in caps and use emojis, and questions will be chosen at random. So we'll be doing crystal ball readings. And do either one of you ladies want to talk a little bit about crystal ball, the technique, and maybe a little bit about what you know about it?
Stacey, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about it other than it really has to do with scrying. And so it's kind of utilizing our crystal ball as a point of focus for the energy to be projected into it from the participant and to be received from the one who is receiving the information. And so for me, it's just really a tool of reflection. And I think it really helps you kind of block out the other things and bring it all into one point of focus. And so when you're receiving your reading, if you can actually just like focus on Daphne's crystal ball and put your energy and your intention, it helps us get a stronger read on your energy and a stronger pull.
Yes, thank you, Stacey. Yeah, crystal balls are not necessary. You can do a reading without a crystal ball, but they are so much fun. And they bring a presence themselves. Like this one is new. I have a smaller one that I've been using for years. This one came into my life recently, and it has a mind of its own. And it has been so helpful for me to be able to clarify the things I'm seeing in my mind's eye. Looking into the crystal ball, I either get a sense of yes or no, right? Yes, what's in my mind's eye is indeed being confirmed by the crystal ball. And right now I've got a little card behind it so that you can see the card. If I take it away, you see the reflection of my computer upside down. So we are just reflecting at, some random images in it today, just to give you a point of focus. And as Stacey said, when you are dropping in and connecting to this, it amplifies the energy and the connection between us. So feel free to look at this crystal ball and ask your own questions of yourself and see what you get. And I think that'll be a lot of fun to practice with everyone.
Absolutely. And I wanted to show everybody my crystal ball is a little bit on the smaller side that Daphne was talking about. And like, this it's about the size of my palm here, but it is a crystal ball and it has no inclusions in it. And it really is quite reflective. And I love the little stand, and it has this crystal ball has a little bit of a hue to it, and it's just absolutely beautiful. And you see how reflective it is. And I was telling the ladies, we were talking about scrying itself. And had done scrying with you could do it with a candle flame. You can do it. I actually did it with a rock, a stone. And you look at the imperfections of the stone, and you allow whatever comes into your mind. And it's what it is it's teaching our mind to focus, the focus is really it's not it's a focus and it's sort of allowing the other thoughts and feelings and emotions to step aside and for you to focus on the question. And it allows you to focus on something your eyes, which typically sometimes would your eyes would distract you. So this way, there is no distraction. And when you look into the crystal ball, there are images and like shapes and sort of reflections in there that spark and create your imagination to begin. And it's really just really magical. And what I think that back in the day when I guess you would go to fortune tellers and they would have a scarf on the table and a crystal ball there, it would be a point of, a starting point, and then what they'll do is as soon as they get to a certain point in their reading, they allow for their spirit messages to come through at that time. Um, I think it's similar to maybe also looking at art and tarot cards, because tarot cards you get inspiration from.
I see questions stacking up in the comments.
All right. All right.
Yeah, and another thing this reminds me of is kind of like when you're in that daydreamy phase, like, and you're just zoned out and you're looking at something, and you can really let that vision play out before you, but you're not necessarily seeing with your physical eyes, but it's learning to see more with that third eye as well. So it's really good to train your third eye and to really open those higher chakras and those abilities up, is to do activities like these. So I think it'll be fun.
It is. It is that third eye, and it's a muscle. And I always say there's like a flap here, but it's a muscle, and it's training the focus. Because in the beginning, sometimes these things are really fleeting, and to grasp onto that fleeting information coming through your imagination, and to hold on to it and to build it really does require focus. And this is why it's important to practice with meditation, because that also allows us to practice focusing as well. All right. Oh my gosh. Amanda Carroll says, just examining my cacao powder residue in a mug. I see a dandelion with a hawk flying over it. That is it's similar, but not exact. But I think that's really interesting. It's a similar way of allowing our imagination, allowing the creativity of what we see to develop into the reading. And what we're doing is we're just stepping aside and allowing that information to flow through.
Although cacao has an amazing presence, and I'm not surprised you're seeing images after having cacao. We'll have to talk about cacao someday, you guys.
All right, there you go. Amanda Carroll, you inspired us to do another show on cacao. I would love to learn about it. I don't know enough about it. I've heard of it, and I understand it's like tea leaves and other things, but and I've seen it done, but I don't know that much more about it. Okay, very good. So let's go ahead and get started. And everybody, just as a reminder, all of the questions are chosen at random. And we're going to be doing crystal ball readings, and we're all going to be reading on one reading. All three of us will be doing one reading at a time. So Daphne, do you want to get started? And I love the suggestion that Stacey had for everybody to focus on Daphne's ball and focus on your energy on Daphne's ball while we're doing the reading. And together it will help to connect. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Stacey's already connecting. Okay. So first I see this is Abby, and Abby wants to know what the crystal ball has for her. Thank you, Abby.
Shall we choose an order and stick with the same order as we're going through the questions?
Sure. Yeah, that's best. And why don't we just go in clockwise order? Daphne, Stacey, and Jean.
Okay. What I'm being shown is sort of a path forward with a left and a right pathway. And the right pathway is the one that's brighter and more satisfying to take. And there's something about you where you are, I, I guess I would say, I would love for you to trust the happiness that you feel when you think about this path forward. I don't know what kind of decision you're having to make or what a choice you might have to make, but there's something about one of the pathways is brighter, happier, and there's a little bit of hesitation on your part. It's like, do I really want to put myself in a position where all these good things are happening? Yes, do it. Yes. That's what I'm seeing. An opportunity coming up, and it's going to be it's going to feel really good. And you deserve it. You're worthy.
That was beautiful. It was interesting when you started the reading. I'm just gonna look at your crystal ball as the focus. But there was kind of like this spiral, like the two paths you were talking about, but they were kind of spiraled together. And there was a lot of cloudiness. And it, like while you were talking and like you're moving, I saw like an eye like open up and then close. And it's like really being aware of like those moments of synchronicity where you're seeing those insights, where you're really feeling drawn. Because I feel like part of this choice and where you're moving is requiring you to also expand your perception and really see what's in your future that's like in the most alignment with you. And I feel like it's getting you out of this cloudiness, out of this kind of like wonky movement. Like it feels like I'm going in circles. I feel like I'm not really moving really in the direction where you want to go. And so I feel like the more you do this and the more you begin to focus and see what you want, you're going to be shown more of that on your path. And so I feel like you're getting out of this spiral coming into the next year.
Wow. Excellent. Excellent, ladies. So, Abby, I see you connecting with your spirit guides. And perhaps that eye that was opening up was your opening to your own soul's vibration and to your own higher self. It's like the self awareness and just awareness itself connecting with you, Abby. And I think that this is something that you'll find the reassurance, the answers, the direction that you need by going inward and connecting to your own soul's vibration and your own instincts and your the messages that come through you. I think that you'll find a place where you'll be trusting your gut more and creating more ways and situations where you'll ask yourself, Abby, what is best for me to do right now? And the first instinct you get, you'll act on, and you'll start practicing this, and you'll understand and start trusting your own intuition. I feel as though you are. Maybe I should just leave it there. That's what I got. Very good, very good. And she says, "Thank you very much, ladies. Thank you." All right. So thank you, Abby. All the best to you and the family. So next I have Mousy is here, and she said she would like a reading, please.
There's more to you than meets the eye. right? The name Mousy, very cute. And I'm seeing like the tiny little nose on a mouse. But with you, there's something about you that you quite enjoy having people underestimate you. I get it. I totally do. But at the same time, it's possible that you're missing out on opportunities because people don't necessarily have the opportunity to see the fullness of what you bring. I'm getting a chill with this. Wow, big chill. Yeah, I think the question for you is the way you are presenting yourself to others. Is it really serving your a larger soul's mission? And there's nothing wrong with how you're doing things the way they are, but just the energy is shifting, and I think there's new opportunities for you if you let people see just how much you can bring to the situation or to the table. You have hidden talents and skills that you've either been shy about sharing with people, or you've kept them quiet for reasons of your own, all valid, and yet something's changing. And I think you have new opportunities coming up if you're open to them. And I would recommend that you spend time with your guides and angels asking about how to do that, and what steps would be the most beneficial for you. And you don't have to just jump in with both feet. You can take it one step at a time. But it's very beautiful, very encouraging energy.
That's very beautiful, Daphne. I got a similar vibe. Like, there was like this small little mouse or character in the crystal ball, and it kept like coming in and out and in and out. And it's like really being upfront and showing who you are on a grander scale. And I feel like part of that is really stepping into your gifts in a way, because I felt like there was this connection to owning who you are on like all levels and really letting those gifts come online. And I saw like there's like this rapid change and evolution ahead of you, but you have to start saying yes to yourself, and you really have to step into it with that new foundation of like ownership. And it feels like you're claiming a new vibration, and it was almost like you were stepping into like a new portal of like light. Like it was like once you started to really own all of your gifts, there was like this like tunnel of light, and it like shifted into like a new dimension. Like it was like you were going into a like a literal new dimension, a new portal, a new life. And it felt like there's a lot of changes going on in your life, and it was more like instead of like watching the changes, step into the change, embrace the change, and create the change. And I feel like it's going to be really beneficial moving forward.
Wow. Wow, Mousy. Wow. I do see the change in your confidence as well. I do see the change in your level of acceptance of your observations. And I think that where the next step would be for you is to see the level of change in you, and for you to sort of knock your own socks off, and to, you know, um, you're going to be inspired by things that you recognize within yourself. And it's about belief, it's about vibration, it's about confidence, it's about all the learning and the experience and the exposure. And it's it's not really by osmosis, but this is something that you've been working on many years in the making, and I do know that you are intuitive yourself and you're empathic, and you're gonna figure out a way how to use that for yourself, similar to Abby's. You're going to figure out a way to use this and to recognize this in yourself. And in fact, I feel like you already do. I feel like you already do have these, mm, there's no such thing as coincidence, but these signs and synchronicities that you've uncovered, that you've discovered, and that you have noticed and you're aware of. And every time you sort of find that connection and that feeling and that awareness, it amplifies your energy even more. So it's very, yep, Mousy says it's about believing in yourself. That's right. That's it in a nutshell. Very good. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so let's see. And I'll try and shout out who's next. I think Lucky Girl would be next. And after Lucky Girl, I see um, Donna Marie is after Lucky Girl. So Lucky Girl says, Robert is 29 years older than me. I've always felt a spiritual connection between us. It's like a mystery to me. What do you see in our crystal ball readings? This is a little more specific, but let's see what we can get.
Yeah.
And Donna Marie, you're next. Just say hello.
When I touch into your energy, there's something about the dynamic between the two of you that is really quite sweet. I'm not convinced he sees the mystical side of the connection, but I can feel that he has affection, fondness, concern about you. The difference in ages, I think, is, I mean, I don't think it's an obstacle, but it's on his mind, right? So he's cognizant of that and very careful of you, that you're like the stars in your eyes. Like I can see you looking up at him with stars in your eyes, and he that is a responsibility that he is cognizant of, to be careful with you and of you, and to reflect back to you the appropriate and authentic emotions, right? Like this is just on a human level. I'm not really connecting in on like whether it's karmic or whether there is past life information. Maybe Stacey and Jean can get into that. I just have a real sense of how his regard for you is really genuine, and he's a very thoughtful person. And I think you are indeed a lucky girl. So yeah, it's interesting. I'm just tapping into him and not really seeing the other level of it. Stacey and Jean, what do you guys have to say?
When I first tuned into the question, I got this feeling of like it felt homely, like it felt like a real comforting feeling being in the presence. And I do feel like you've had multiple connections, probably in past lives and beyond. And in this life, it feels like there's this energetic quality that he has that's the more of the draw than the person. Like, not, I don't know how to say that exactly, but not that there isn't a connection there, but it feels like it's more of a connection because you feel like you're missing something, and it feels like he brings in that presence, and he feels like he fills that space, like he fills that that empty home with this quality that you really desire, that really makes you feel comfortable and supported, and that you've kind of maybe haven't had as much in your life. And it feels like it's really comfortable. the connection, and it feels very familiar. And I almost like the disconnect is like moving past um, the age, because it's like there's this like dogmatic presence that feels like it interrupts the natural connection. And I feel like that's kind of creating this little bit of resistance in the relationship, not necessarily between you guys, but within the collective, which then puts that on that connection that's there. So, what it feels like is just trusting your own soul and really just following that flow, like doing what feels good and recognizing what that is. Because I feel like when you feel that fulfillment, then it's no longer like something that I need, it's just something that I enjoy. And it makes it a more free flowing energy in the relationship, because now it just feels like there's some resistance and constriction that can be supported on your side by doing some deeper inner work. And I don't feel like he's wanting to do that work. Um, he's just, I don't know, he feels more free flowing with it. Kind of oddly the opposite of what Daphne said, but it doesn't feel like it's it's not the connection between you, it's the outside judgment. That's really the big restriction. Yeah.
Interesting. Thank you very much, ladies. That was really, really amazing. So, Lucky Girl, what I was picking up is that your soul recognized his soul, and that you recognize the soul's vibration. And it's not necessarily how old he is or what he looks like, it's the vibration of his soul that is familiar to you. And I agree with Stacey when she says you two have had lifetimes together and shared lifetimes together, and uh, that you were meant to meet. And I feel like there's some sort of an activation or reminder that you feel in this lifetime that will help you. What it is could be subconscious, but I do also feel that the way that this Robert defines is a little more logical, and the way you define is a little more spiritual. And but you two meet on a different frequency. Like there are unspoken, nonverbal sort of connections that he does feel that energy, and he doesn't know how to define it. But you know how to define it because you've exposed yourself to the spiritual teachings and the information and the language that helps you to define this. But trust that, and perhaps even if it's only a mirror for you. Here he is, and here you are. And you recognize that soul and you feel that connection. And what this does is it makes you feel your own soul, that your soul has a place and an existence and a reality inside of this egoic physical body. And it could be just that. Just, oh, I see his soul. I feel that connection to my soul. Oh, I have a soul. Oh, this is what my soul is feeling. It's almost like there is something very simplistic. The guides and the spiritual connection is not always complex. It is often very simplistic, just a way for you to recognize your own soul and recognize that the connection is a soul connection. And that's where I'm going to leave it there. But thank you very much for coming, Lucky Girl, and asking your question and being so lucky to be chosen. And I have here Donna, Venus, and Amanda Carroll will be next. And here is Donna. She wants to know what is next for her. You're very welcome, Lucky Girl. Thanks for being here. Donna says, what comes next for me? Donna Marie.
The first thing I heard when I read your question, Donna Marie, was that um, and I hear this a lot whenever I go into the Akashic records. You have free will. It's up to you. And the good news is that you already know at this point in your life, you know a lot about what you don't want. And you know, you have a shorter list of the things you do want. And what comes next for you is making a choice and a commitment. And once you choose that path, all those other possibilities are no longer, they no longer feature in your plan. But I think what you end up choosing will have highs and lows as you know, human beings experience in every path we choose. But there's something here. I see you like doing something really practical, and there's what makes it really satisfying are the people that you are going to meet and work with or connect with. So it doesn't have to be a job, it doesn't have to be volunteering. There's just some activity that you become very enthusiastic about. And I see you being surprised by how happy you feel and how content with whatever it is that you're working on. And like I have an image of you, like it's really interesting because it's like work and play kind of blending together. So it on the outside it might look like work, but on the inside it feels really happy and playful. So I wish I could describe more about what I'm seeing. It's almost like when you leave the situation, you think about the people. You can't wait to go back. Um, yeah, and there's something about how you have been. It's almost like you haven't been having enough fun, and this combines elements of fun and something really satisfying and gratifying, some kind of a project or situation that just seems really happy to me. I think you're going to start off 2024 in a really, really good place.
That was really beautiful, Daphne. Same thing when I was looking at the crystal ball. It was just like this pure white light. And when I was tuning into the white light, I just felt like this huge, immense heart opening and so much angelic presence. And I feel like there's like this healing breakthrough that's happening on a very deep level. It felt like knowing that you're so loved and really connecting to that energy to really carry you through into the next year. Because from that space, when you really open that heart, it's like it really opens up everything else for you. Like it really truly is your playground. And I also saw you in the ball with somebody like right by your side. And so it felt like there's somebody supporting you, not just in spirit, but also in the physical. And like you're building something new, you're going about something different. And it was like you didn't have to do it alone. It was like you could, like Daphne was saying, you can make it fun. You can do what you want with it. But it felt like that support is just here for you. And if you just focus on your heart, focus on that light, focus on that energy, I feel like it's what's going to bring you clarity. And it's like I could just see your heart pulling you forward and leading you, and letting that action and that momentum of what's really in your heart. And like it does feel like there's some heaviness around it, but it's like if you can really like let the angels or your guides really lift that density and really tune into like what I felt in my heart space, you're really gonna, it's like you're really gonna have the world open up to you. And that's what I'm getting.
Wow, beautiful. I felt that too, Stacey and Daphne. So what I saw for you, Donna Marie, is I saw a lot of emotion. I saw a lot of passion that was welling up in your um, heart and high heart and solar plexus. I saw this emotion wanting to express itself. And I felt like you have been maybe guarded or reserved or following the rules, or and now you find that with this increased energy, with this increased frequency on earth, and the change in humanity, you feel something inside of yourself that just wants to express itself. And what if I you can find out what this is for yourself, but I find it's your soul's desire is coming through. You feel motivated, you feel inspired. And what I saw you as a beautiful ballet dancer doing all of these movements, and a dancer, or even like yoga, something slow and methodical, something purposeful and expressive, something emotional and really deeply felt. And you really want to you have this like passion inside of you that is just waiting to come out. And whatever that is, in whatever form that is, it's uh, consider expressing it and honoring that, and see where that takes you. Maybe you've always wanted to be a yoga teacher. Maybe you've always wanted to have a yoga practice for yourself, that you have a mind body spirit practice, and develop more of a meditation with your yoga. Whatever this is for you, Miss Donna Marie, it is inviting you, it is calling you, and it is part of the evolution. And I feel like with this, more opportunities will be in your future. That's what I see. So good for you, Miss Donna Marie. I love that. I was really very inspired by the image that I saw and the dance. So good for you. So next we have Venus, and then Amanda Carroll. Sorry, I got to find it. Here it is. Not easy, you guys. All right. So thank you very much, Donna Marie. Venus says, I'd love a crystal ball reading. Yes.
Well, Venus, I have, I mean, I just had this immediate thought that I would love to be friends with you, like in real life, right? There's something about you that is very appealing to people. And I'm seeing you attracting people and attracting friends. And there's something about maybe being more flattered by that than you have been in the past. Like you are attracting people, and you may not really be paying attention to the amazing people who are coming around, right? Like, this isn't anything you mean to do at all, but that I just have this sense that there are people around you that would love more of your attention, and they would love for you to notice how awesome they are, right? They know you're awesome. You know you're awesome. I know you're awesome. And I think these people in your life maybe aren't getting enough attention from you. And I think it's worth considering whether any of these friendships or relationships can deepen in a way that's really satisfying to both of you. And yeah, I'm just wondering if friendships and relationships take sort of the be front and center during the holiday season, right? Like now through Valentine's Day, I just see it being really gratifying for you to tend to your friendships, and reach out to people, or um, text someone you haven't talked to in a while. There's something here about how satisfying and how much good feeling there is to be had from tending to and caring for those relationships. So thank you. Really lovely to be in your energy.
That was beautiful, Daphne. Kind of this time when I was looking into the crystal ball, I saw like a vast ocean, like a beachfront. and it was around expand your horizons. And I loved what Daphne said about the relationships, and the term that came to me is something that I was hearing the other day, and they're like, you are my ocean. And so I feel like you're the ocean for a lot of people, but now you need to find something that soothes and replenishes your soul. And so I felt like even taking a vacation, taking time for yourself, really expanding your horizons, doing something new for yourself actually feels like it's really going to open up that space, and then other people will be drawn to that energy, and you will have more of that chemistry. And doing with doing along the lines of what Daphne said, it feels like there's so much out there, but it feels like your world has been very small. It's been very like deliberate, full of like duties, and now it's like take a risk and go do something differently and begin to see what else happens from that, because it feels like there is some magic waiting for you, but you've got to get into that new environment.
Sorry. Very good. Very good. Thank you very much, Stacey. And if y'all saw me going, it's because I wrote those exact same words. I'm writing because, so that I don't lose it. And I wrote those exact same words that came out of Stacey's mouth, and I couldn't believe it. So what I wrote for you, Venus, is I saw that you are very nurturing. You are empathic, and you're like a mother gathering all your little chickens in and taking care of everybody and protecting everybody. And now I wrote nurturing others, and now yourself, make yourself a priority. And that's what I wrote, and that's exactly what Stacey just said. And I feel like this is something that it's your time, and it's not like you have to turn away from anybody. It's that you have to include yourself in that nurturing. It's you have to include your desires and your opinion in this. There was a time where it was a place for you to sacrifice your own wants and needs and desires for the others, but now it's really important for you to include your own opinions and wants and needs with the others. Make it a win-win instead of a sacrifice and they win. And it's win-win will empower you so that you can help others even more. And it's not going to be so depleting for you. And I feel like you're going to feel this extra sense of confidence and intuition. I feel like it'll give you this boost of self-assurance, and which you already have, and and you already use, but when you have this win-win, it'll empower you and enable you to have this confidence with it. So yeah, I thought that was really very interesting that we were getting the same thing here. All right. So I just wanted to follow up. Donna Marie had a response, and she says, yes, yes, and yes. Thank you so much. I thought that was funny. I could tell she was saying that for all of us. Thank you very much, Donna Marie. We appreciate your feedback, everybody's feedback. And nice to see you, 80s love. I love that handle. That's cute. All right. So next is Amanda Carroll. And let me just get that. Here is Amanda Carroll. And let me just call out the next two. After Amanda Carroll is Mary Lloyd and Aurora. So if you two would kindly just say hello or put an emoji in there, that would be wonderful. So it's Mary Lloyd and Aurora after Amanda Carroll. Amanda Carroll says, I would love a crystal ball reading too. Thank you.
Amanda Carroll, your guides are so funny. They're like, a crystal ball reading? What are we, chopped liver? Right? Like, they basically are pointing out that they want to be in deeper connection with you and more frequent connection with you. And that I think you would have so much fun getting to know them better. And I don't know if you have a regular practice of meditating or journaling, but I know when I first started trying to have a more objective, more to me, what felt like a more real relationship with my guides is I would sit down and write with them every day. And just I would write questions and then I would write their response. I would use my imagination until it became very clear that it wasn't my imagination at all, it was them. And I would encourage you to do whatever works for you, whatever feels more natural. But your guides and angels are like, they have their sleeves rolled up, they're ready to go to work for you. Call on them, ask them all day long, ask them to get you parking spots, ask them to smooth the way when you're returning something to the store, ask them to point out which um, I don't know which vacation you should go on. Definitely, definitely call on them more often, and really trust the answers that you're getting. Now, obviously, we trust but verify, right? If they're never going to tell you to do anything wrong, but you also have free will. And if they tell you, like one time my guides told me get up out of bed at 3 o'clock in the morning and go look out the window. And I said, no, it's cold. I'm scared. I'm lazy. And I didn't go. I have no idea what they wanted to show me, but you always have free will. You don't have to take their excellent advice, but at least knowing what it is will enrich your life tremendously.
That was beautiful, Daphne. I love what you said, and I felt like it went along with what I was receiving. It felt like there was like this void. There was like something's missing. I'm looking for something. I can't find it. I'm waiting for something. And then you said the guides, and it's like, of course, you just got to connect in more. And it felt like almost like they didn't. They wanted you to create with them. They wanted you to be, you know, a part of the guidance. They didn't want to just come down and like demand orders. And I feel like when I was looking at the crystal, there was just like this child's face that popped up, and it felt like you had this connection when you were a child, and this child's looking up and it has this curiosity, it has this like zest for life, and it's having so much fun. And I feel like tapping back into that beautiful childlike nature and having that mystery all around you and having curiosity, asking questions, getting inquisitive, and following those things and seeing where they lead instead of waiting. So it's like start with like what Daphne did, with what Daphne said. Start with questions, and then follow those little inklings and those little inspirations, and kind of like have that new view on the world. And because I feel like kind of part of it is like there's this interruption of like, well, I need it, like I need to know it. It should just come to me. And it's like, no, go explore, go have fun, go adventure into it and follow where that leads you, because it's already there. You just have to start working more with the energy as opposed to waiting for something, if that makes sense.
That's beautiful, Stacey. Thank you very much. And Amanda, what I was picking up for you is that you feel as though, or I feel as though you are experiencing more presence around you. I feel I tuned into your energy and I felt that you felt the presence of the spiritual realm and or your angels and guides to specifically when Daphne was describing this. And I feel as though you feel them, you sense their presence, or you sense an energy that's around you. I feel as though you are picking up almost on your antenna like qualities and your physical awareness. And it's a very subtle energy, but you have, they're showing me that you feel this awareness sort of like watching over you, and it's you don't know what to make of it and you're not really sure what it is, but every once in a while, especially like when you're in the car by yourself and you're driving, you feel this presence with you. I don't know if it's a loved one, and I feel it's more angelic or guides, but they are coming in close to you because you are welcoming and open to this energy. I feel that you're going to be practicing this clairsentience more, and creating different ways to interact with your spirit guides. And like Daphne said, that when you feel inspired by them, giving you suggestions or um ways to find joy. And I think that you'll develop something on your own. And it's not necessarily the cacao reading or, and it could be that, it could be something just your own, all on your own. It could be the way that, um, I don't know, your curtains hang. I don't know, whatever it is that you'll develop your own way of communicating with your angels and spirit guides that you're going to be finding out because you're aware of their presence. And I just feel like this is something that it's sort of it's been there, and you maybe didn't define it or didn't speak about it or didn't think that this was something that you could develop or create on your own. But they're really encouraging all of us to be our own, be in connection with our own higher self, our own soul's vibration, uniquely the way we want to. And it's nice to get the practice in and follow other people's suggestions and getting that practice of, and so that you know. But I feel like you're there and you can feel that subtle energy, and they want you to develop your own method of communication with them if you haven't already. So that's what I got. All the best to you, Amanda Carroll. Aw, she says, love it. Message received. She said, thank you all. So encouraging. Excellent. Okay, next I have Mary Lloyd and Aurora. Here's Mary Lloyd, and she says, crystal ball reading for me, please.
I'm the information I'm getting right now shows that some people around you are surprised by your interest in the woo-woo side of life, right? And I'm not sure why they're bringing this forward, but there's somebody in your life who is a bit uncomfortable with the changes that you're making, and they need reassurance that it's not going to cause a greater problem down the road. Um, I'm not sure. This person feels a little bit younger to me. So it's possible that they are anxious about things in general, and adding one more new thing is a bit much for them. So just something to be cognizant of as you grow and explore, and by no means stop. Right? This is a time for expansion, and my sense for you is that the more you open up, the more you explore, the happier you're going to be. And following your curiosity and following your intuition is going to lead to some really delightful places. And the hesitancy of other people around you is, I mean, you can care for that person and care about that person, be gentle with them, and still be very clear that you are calling the shots in your own life. So, yeah, I'm excited for you. I am seeing like a vibrancy and a sort of energetic moving forward for you. And there's, like I can just see your whole spiritual team. They're like sitting up, their ears are pricked up, and they're like, yeah, this is the time. This is when things that are have been planned for a long time are going to start to unfold. So I think if you again, journaling is always a great way to track your progress. Like if you look back over a year from now, you look back at the changes that have happened for you, I think you'll be really amazed. So you might want to take some notes so that you can reflect on how things changed for you.
That's beautiful, Daphne. Kind of what I was getting, like as I was looking at the crystal ball, I felt like there was like this big environment, like with mountains and desert, and like it felt like there was a lot of trying and climbing and going, and it felt like there was a lot of work that you were putting into something. And I just felt like I just saw this other image of you just like sitting on that mountaintop and just letting the energy come to you and letting that guidance come to you. And it's almost like giving me this energy of just slowing down a little bit and not taking on so much burden, because it's like, why am I even climbing this mountain? It's like, where am I trying to go? And take that moment for deep reflection and awareness before you keep going, keep taking action, keep moving forward, because it's almost like doing less will bring more in, more energy, more guidance, more support in, and it will help you decide in the direction that you're going, because it feels like there's a lot of effort being put forth, but the reward isn't coming in because you're like already on to the next thing before it comes in. So that's what I was getting. That makes sense.
Thank you, Stacey and Daphne. So, Mary Lloyd, what I was picking up for you, the first words I heard is no need to worry. No need for worry. No need for worry. It's almost like that's of something of the past for you and for all of us, for many of us. Everything is divinely orchestrated. Your part is to find your peace and joy and focus on that. And when Stacy said you were on top of that mountain, I did see you in nature and sort of allowing nature to help to regulate your. I feel like you may have had a stimulation. I feel like you're quite sensitive and a little bit raw, and it may have been from a worry, it may have been from an illness, it may have been from a trauma, but you're healing and you're 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 still quite sensitive and raw. But I feel as though you're moving into this trust phase and moving into finding your peace and your joy and sort of, allowing that to, I hesitate to say regulate it, but that's the only word I can feel. Regulate your own vibration and frequency, and that's through peace, joy, and nature. So all the best to you, Nancy, Mary. And I see that your little heart has a little band-aid on it. Is that what that is? I don't know. You said,
I think
yeah, I
it's a
think
blue
it
pill.
is.
Yeah.
Pardon?
To me, it looks like a blue pill.
Oh, I think it's a little heart with a Band-Aid on it, but that's what made me
Mm-hmm.
feel that. Um, okay, very good. So thank you. And after Mary is Aurora, and after Aurora is Dolly. So I think, Dolly, if you could just say hello, let me just find Aurora. I've,
Mary Lloyd says she's been feeling excited about the future. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you for that feedback, Mary. Aurora says, would love to have a reading.
Mhm. I know that we're not going to get to everybody here. So I just want to invite people to look at the crystal ball and gaze at it themselves and see if they can pick up things for themselves. If we don't get to your question, I wish we could read for everybody, but not possible, sadly. But we do get to read for Aurora. Thank you, Aurora. There's a delicacy to your energy that is so appealing to people. There's they show me that you are already deeply connected or very open to spirit, and it's almost as if you're half in that world you're listening to information coming in from that world, and that's part of your mystique, right? That's part of why people are drawn to you. And let's see if we can get anything more specific. I'm getting an image of you sitting with a friend on a sofa, and you're having one of those conversations that happen after, everybody else has left the party and it's just the two of you. And I think somebody's going to reveal some deep secrets or some very surprising information. And my guess is that I'm being shown that because they want you to be alert to opportunities for that type of, like, spending enough time with someone so that they can reveal those deeper layers. There's something about it that's going to be really, really good for both of you. Either it will improve the friendship, or it will bring to light new opportunities. But I have this really peaceful, happy feeling when I think about you over the next few months, and following your curiosity. That's always good advice for all of us. But for you in particular, Aurora, over the next few months, I see like unfolding and unfolding and unfolding and unfolding. So I think in 6 months, you'll look back and you'll be quite astonished where your path has taken you. Lovely. Thank you.
Yeah, I resonated with what you said, Daphne. I did feel this beautiful energy around her. And like the crystal ball, it was kind of showing me like the body, and it was like there was like this much in the upper world and like this much in the lower world. And it felt like it kept flickering back and forth. And it felt like over the next few months, you're really diving up into that more open, higher energy. And it feels like you're really expanding even more so than you have before. And it feels like this time it's more of that personal exploration. I feel like there's this energy with people being drawn to you, and it feels like you offer a lot of support and guidance for them naturally, and it feels like they really resonate in that energy and they feel supported by it. And now it feels like you're moving into that more for yourself, and you're finding that balance of like how to anchor it into your physical world, because I feel like the spiritual part of yourself is very important in your life moving forward, but it's that kind of being in one world and the other, like a foot in each. And I feel like you're really learning to train that balance. And it feels like almost like you have it more down for other people than you do for yourself. And so I kind of see working on that natural ability that you use for other people and reflecting it for yourself. And I feel like over the next few months, it really starts to open up, and you really find that that new movement, that new way of being, and you start to embody that more. So that's kind of what I got.
Excellent. Thank you very much. I have my head down because I'm doing I'm writing down what as I'm getting. Well, thank you very much, Aurora. So very nice to have you here. And I was seeing something in my crystal ball that was quite unique, and I just want to tell you what I'm getting and seeing if it means anything to you. But we can just move right along. And the first thing I saw was a round circle with a hole in it. And the first thing I thought of was like a donut. Okay. I don't know about donuts, but there's this round circle, almost like a pool float, a round circle with a hole in it. And I thought donut. And I wrote ring. And I also wrote like bunt pan. Like there's something round circle with a hole in it. So don't just narrow it to a donut or the size of a donut. Think of something that's round with a hole in it. I don't know what that means for you, or if that has a meaning for you, or what that might symbolize for you, whatever that is. And I feel as though that you're feeling, she ate a donut 5 minutes ago.
Delicious.
Oh my gosh, Aurora. Thank you so much for saying that, because I'm like, I'm gonna have to say this because this is what I'm getting. Oh my gosh. Well, thanks. It was good. I saw it. I tasted it. No. I couldn't figure out what this was. And it could also still be like a ring, a symbolic ring, something that is continuous, something that is a commitment, something that is, with our evolution, with our spiritual awakening or our spiritual journey, is often in a vortex, really, but a ring. And in layers like this. I was thinking maybe it was something like that as well. Um, but just take that with a grain of salt. And I also wrote it's not about the tools specifically. Where I got that, I don't know. But even though the tools may help you, you'll find that your body is your new tool. Your physical, human, flesh and blood and bones body is a tool for you, and it's a way for you to feel and to get messages and to feel a visceral reaction uh, information. You'll get information. Like if your ear rings, it'll tell you one thing. If your nose itches, it'll tell you another thing. If you have like just it whatever that is, you'll find that your body is a new tool for you that you can rely on, and that you'll become more in touch with that. So let me know if that makes any sense for you. And that's what I was getting. Your body is a new tool for you that you can rely on, that you can take everywhere you go. And I hope you enjoyed that donut. That is so funny, isn't it?
Yeah, that was
Oh,
amazing, Jean.
she says it makes sense. See, you got to say, no matter how crazy it sounds, you have to say these things. You never know. So thank you, Aurora. It was nice of you to be here. And Dolly is the last reading for the night. And she says, hello, Jean, Daphne, Stacey, and everyone in the chat. I would love a reading from the crystal ball, please, and thank you. Is that just not the sweetest question?
Yeah, we need a crystal ball emoji.
We do have one. Does anybody want to pop those up?
Oh.
There is one. It's a beautiful one. I use it a lot.
Well, Dolly, when I just glanced at your question, I fell into the space between the O and the L in your name. There's something very deep and mystical about your incarnation this time around. It's almost like this is Jean's right. We just have to say what we see. It's almost like you are this amazing galactic entity that has decided to come down and put on a human suit, right? That may not be the true story, but there's something about you that has come here with a light heart and is playing a part. And sometimes you forget that you're just playing the part, right? Because you're putting your whole heart into whatever it is you're doing here in this lifetime. But if I'm being shown this, maybe it's a reminder to you that you are more than what appears to all the people around you. And the spaciousness on the inside, where you can explore and connect with the spiritual dimension. If you're not already swimming around in that space, I encourage you, because it will add a surprising depth to your life and to your existence. And no matter what you're doing on the day to day, you can always enrich your experience with it by knowing that you are here on a spiritual mission. And what I am really appreciating about the plan you made for yourself in this incarnation is that there are layers of complexity to your personality and to your presence here in this life. And not everyone's going to see it or recognize it, but that doesn't matter. You are just tickled to be here. And there's you are meant to be having a lot of fun in this life. And prioritizing fun is something that more of us can do going forward. It adds positive energy to the collective field of energy. It makes the world a better place if you can, find a reason to smile with the woman who's checking you out at Walmart. And any casual little interaction with people, if you can express your natural loving, fun-loving heart, I think I think you'll just enrich so many other people's lives as well as your own. So very, very nice to meet you, if only through YouTube. Thank you, Dolly.
That was beautiful, Daphne. When I was connecting to the crystal, it really was making prominent that energy of purity and clarity within the crystal, and it feels like you just have this beautiful pure heart and soul who just it's almost like there's this feeling of like, I just want to do it right, I just want to love everybody, I just want to really exude this peaceful loving light. And I loved what Daphne said, because like as I was looking at the crystal, I have a real crystal and there's like this almost like this suspension. It looks like the galaxy just suspended in there. And there's this beautiful pure space. And it's like you're in between like this beautiful suspension of the cosmos. It feels like you can really drop into that space and be open. And it just feels like it fills you with more stillness than anything. It feels like it was just like a refresh for your soul. And to really take that time to go into silence and feed and nurture that part of you, because it felt like you really are opening up. And to me, it felt like you have something here that you're doing and that you're working on a very deep level, and it feels like that part of your mission is still being activated, and it hasn't quite come online in the biggest sense. But I feel like just looking at pictures of like the cosmos and like just imagining being like suspended there in your meditations, it feels like you're going to be opening up to a lot of downloads and to a lot of information about what you're doing on this planet. Like it feels like you're leaving a legacy. It feels like you may have children, but there's this important part of your work that you haven't quite moved into, but it feels like it's starting to open up, and following those explorations is really going to help make that possible.
Beautiful. Wow. And Dolly says, amazing reading, Daphne. And thanks. She does try and bring light wherever she goes. And she said, OMG, Stacey, you're describing like heaven on earth. Such a kind reading. Beautiful. And it's your energy, it's your potential, it's your soul, Dolly. And it's important to at least consider the possibility of this potential, because there is limitless potential, infinite potential. And along with that, I did find that you are working on trusting your own guidance, and to consider that others' opinions are just that. They're opinions, and it's not something that you have to adopt and make your own, because it's others' opinions. And I feel like what this means for you is that your discernment is coming online. Your discernment is refining. Your discernment is being more definitive for you. And you can sort of see things for what they are, and not necessarily see, but it's you're feeling the frequency of others' opinions. It's that I don't want to offend anybody, but like the commentators in the background, they're all commentators, they're all opinions. It's not something that you need to adopt as your own. I do see you working towards self-reliance and being more self-assured, and you're confident knowing what you know. This knowing what you know is mm, uh, it's indisputable, if that's a word. It's not up for discussion. It's what you know. It's this confidence. It's this knowing, and this is what you'll know. And this is your discernment. You'll know what you know. You'll know somebody else's opinions by the vibration. You'll know if it's something that you need to adopt. Like bell bottoms are coming back, and you're like, that's not really like that's just somebody saying that. That's not what is really going to happen. That we're not all going to be walking around with bell bottoms. That's somebody's opinion, and it's almost like you'll have this discernment, you'll have this knowing, and you'll be able to trust to navigate through life with this trust and this discernment. So all the best to you, Dolly. I really appreciated reading for your energy. Well, thank you very much, everybody. And Daphne, you're the best. You've held that thing there the whole time.
Yeah,
I appreciate you. I appreciate you. And let me just go like this and show everybody. Look how beautiful that crystal ball is. That is so magnificent. I really enjoyed doing these readings with everybody. And Daphne and Stacey, thank you very much for being here on this beautiful Sunday evening, daylight standard time. And it was really a lot of fun. So thank you all for being here. We will see you again next time. I'll be on the Crone Zone for the Wisdom Circle tomorrow. And do either of you two ladies want to announce anything that's coming up in the next week before we get together?
Well, I just want to let people know you were talking about discernment earlier, and I have, with my meditation group, we've been meditating on the election, like people developing discernment, people doing their jobs. And if people are anxious and concerned about the election, these meditations are meant to help you take some action right from your own house. And you can just check them out. I'm doing one per day until we have, things are settled down. So you can come over there and participate if you'd like.
Wonderful. And it's on your YouTube channel. And Sharon Sipe has been doing an amazing job. Thank you very much, Sharon, putting all of our YouTube information and website information and all the bits, all the stuff. Thank you very much, Sharon Sipe, for all you do. And 80s love it. Yeah, that was our last reading. And thank you very much, Dolly. She said, thank you, Jean. It resonates. You're very welcome. We appreciate everybody being here, and we are looking forward to seeing you back again soon. And Stacey, did you want to say anything before we go?
No, this was a lot of fun, and I'm just glad to join in on the energy, and I hope everybody received what they needed to or found a message within the messages. And yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. And thank you, Stacey and Daphne, and thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful night. See you again soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. Your support is greatly appreciated. If you enjoy this content, hit like, share, and subscribe. Remember to click the bell to be notified of future videos. Thanks again. Bye.